Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances, all glory to Prabhupada. Thank you all so much for joining. We will be starting very soon. Vaiśeṣika Prabhu will be joining us in a couple of minutes, and it's a great occasion. We're offering the results of the Bhadra Pūrṇimā campaign to Śrīla Prabhupada, and we're very grateful to everybody who's joined the call today. Vṛndāvana Prabhu is going to help drive the call today. Vṛndāvana Prabhu.
Dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Śrīla Prabhupada. Thank you all for joining now. I know the anticipation is waiting to see how we did as a global team this Bhadra Pūrṇimā 2024 campaign. Until Maharaj joins, which will be briefly, everyone can rename themselves to their name and then also their city name. I can rename myself, for example, Ranchor Das, Columbus. Yes, and we'll be starting shortly.
Captain speaking. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Ranchorji, can you hear me?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Please accept your humble obeisances. All glories to Śrīla Prabhupada. Yes, we can hear you clearly, Maharaj.
Okay, now I don't know if you can see me though. I'm in my car. I'm not driving.
Unfortunately, no. We can only see the name. We can't see you, Maharaj, yet.
Well, let me figure it out. Start video. That ought to do it. Hare Krishna. Haribo, warriors. Great to see you all. Vanchakalpadurusha, Kripasanabeva Patitanam Pavanigo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. We're just coming back from a program, and we've been looking forward to this all day, seeing everybody. It's a joyous time to celebrate. And I first offer my respectful obeisances to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Ranchor Prabhu, should I go ahead?
Yes, Maharaj. We can start with the slides or the offering, sir.
First, let me offer a couple prayers. I offer my respectful obeisances to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and to all the assembled devotees. Vanchakalpadurusha Kripasanabeva Patitanam Pavanigo Vaishnavebhyo Namaha. This is an historic time because somehow or other we landed in the right yuga. And the Srimad Bhagavatam, Kara Bhajana Muni, says that the Kali Yuga, for those who know what's what, is the most advantageous time that one could ever encounter, because you can obtain everything by Sankirtan. And our acharyas have given us the mode of performing Sankirtan, and we're doing it. And that's not nothing. It's the most consequential thing that anyone can do. And besides the fact that it's consequential, it's ecstatic and it's fun, and we're doing it together. I'm really grateful to everyone. Tonight we're going to review the workings of all the devotees, and then we're going to look at the maps and we'll have some conversation. And thank you from the bottom of my heart, everyone. So Ranchor, feel free to roll the videos, please.
All right.
Dear Śrīla Prabhupada, please accept our most humble obeisances, all glories in the dust of your lotus feet, all glories to your divine grace. We assemble here together to offer the results of New Zealand's 2024 Bhadra Pūrṇimā campaign. Team New Zealand set a goal to distribute at least 169 sets of Srimad Bhagavatam for this year's campaign. We had 5 teams participate. The following are some of the highlights from a few of the teams. The Wellington team reflected, we didn't have a very big congregation or massive festivals to distribute sets at, but a highlight for our Bhadra Pūrṇimā was seeing each devotee's individual efforts, such as devotees coming together to regularly show the set on our city book tables, and very personally follow up with people they have met previously on books to distribute sets. These examples of personalism and efforts to try and share and give exposure to Srimad Bhagavatam to people on the street was really inspiring. Auckland stated, we didn't reach our goal this year, but so many more Srimad Bhagavatam sets were distributed than would have been without setting our goal. We had a very sweet finale on the evening of itself, with some very special touching exchanges with devotees participating. One highlight was people coming out of nowhere to purchase sets. You never know how Krishna will reciprocate with our efforts, but he always does. Team Hamilton described, 3 days were left until Bhadra, and a feeling of despondency swept over me. How could we possibly distribute more Srimad Bhagavatam sets? It was a matter of resetting my mind and taking inspiration from Guru and Krishna to persevere. With their mercy, 2 more sets were distributed. My learning is that we should never give up. The mercy of Guru and Krishna will carry us through. Dear Srila Prabhupada, with respect to the books, Auckland, Hamilton and Dunedin teams are pleased to offer 59 Srimad Bhagavatam sets were distributed in New Zealand between Pūrṇimā and Bhadra. They are now guiding souls back home to Godhead. We pray at the lotus feet of Panchatattva to empower us to share these fruits of love of God all over the world. Your aspiring servants in New Zealand.
So next we'll move on to Australia's offering.
Offering from Australian devotees, take number 108. Dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept our most humble obeisances in the dust of your lotus feet. All glories to your divine grace. On behalf of your devotees serving in Australia, we would like to offer to you the results of our 2024 Bhadra campaign service for your pleasure. From a letter to Balavanta Prabhu, Vṛndāvana, 23 November 1976, you wrote, I am very glad to hear how the book distribution is increasing more and more. This is our greatest weapon. The more the books are distributed, the more the ignorance of the age of Kali will be smashed. The world is feeling the weight of this Hare Krishna movement, especially in your country. We have to increase this book distribution work more and more to firmly establish this movement, which is the only hope for the suffering living entities. Our goal this year was to distribute 483 sets of Srimad Bhagavatam. Some of the highlights of this marathon. This year, 15 centres around Australia joined the Bhadra campaign. Through online outreach groups, devotees were able to send Srimad Bhagavatam to remote areas such as the Northern Territory and Norfolk Island for the first time. Devotees around the country held special events to promote Srimad Bhagavatam at Janmashtami festivals, Bhadra Pūrṇimā, and during the visits of travelling preachers. A celebration was held in Melbourne to acknowledge the huge effort of the whole community with a record of 75 devotees engaged in distributing Bhagavatam sets. Overall, the highlight was seeing many aspiring devotees coming forward to do their best and inspiring others to try to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. As we make this offering, we're pleased to report that our goals have been successfully met and smashed. Our goal was to distribute 483 Bhagavatam sets. The Australian team distributed a total of 705 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. This is a 46% increase from last year. We are definitely on track to increase our capacity. I would like to acknowledge the teams that participated from Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne, Hobart, Canberra, Sydney, HKCCC Western Sydney, Bhakti Portal Sydney, New Gokul Farm, New Govardhan Farm, Gold Coast Bhakti Centre, Brisbane, Burbank, Toowoomba and Norfolk Island. We pray at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to empower us to build our capacity to distribute these transcendental books and work together as one team to help spread the Sankirtan movement all over the world. We also pray for your blessings, Srila Prabhupada, so we may easily increase our capacity to distribute 1,000 sets or more by 2026. Hare Krishna from your humble servants in Australia.
And then finally, Fiji's offering.
Krishna, dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept our most humble obeisances in the dust of your lotus feet. All glories to your divine grace. We are gathered here to offer you the Fiji results of the Bhadra campaign for 2024. It is our 4th year of participation in this transcendental global campaign. Srila Prabhupada, you have mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 2, Text 1, purport that, quote, the Krishna consciousness movement is the only hope to save the world from devastation. It is the most scientific and authorized movement for the actual welfare of the whole human society, unquote. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada, by distributing your books, particularly the Bhagavad-gītā and Srimad Bhagavatam, we allow people to understand and practice Krishna consciousness for real peace and happiness. This year, we set a goal of 21 Srimad Bhagavatam sets, 3 temples and 3 centers, as well as ISKCON Fiji Institute for Higher Education and Training, participated in this year's campaign according to the capacities. Srila Prabhupada, one of the highlights for this year's campaign was that during the Sri Krishna Janmashtami celebration at Sri Sri Radha Golok Bihari Temple, that is in Suva, the capital city of Fiji, Srimad Bhagavatam was very nicely promoted by the temple vice president, His Grace Vishwanath Prabhu. Just before the curtains were opened for deities darshan and the midnight arti, 3 orders were placed in a very short time. The same promotion tactic was used during Sri Radha Ashtami celebration, where we again received 3 orders in honor of the 3 deities presiding over the 3 altars. Another significant highlight was that the festival of Fiji, normally held every 2 years, fell during this year's Bhadra campaign. Srila Prabhupada, you blessed Fiji by setting your lotus feet on this small island in 1974, and this year's festival of Fiji was marked by many celebrations, particularly the 50th anniversary of your arrival in Fiji at the Sri Sri Radha Golok Bihari Temple and Krishna Kaliya Temple, the first ISKCON temple in Fiji. At all these major celebrations, we tried to promote Srimad Bhagavatam and had our usual book tables displaying Srimad Bhagavatam to the visitors. Srila Prabhupada, thus with the cooperation of the temples and centers, dedicated local and international devotees, as well as our ISKCON friends and well-wishers, we surpassed our goal of 21 by distributing 31 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. We hope that our small collective endeavor is pleasing to you and humbly seek your blessings so that we can continue to serve your Krishna consciousness mission in Fiji. Srila Prabhupada, we also graciously acknowledge the continued support and encouragement from the global team led by your intimate and sincere disciple, His Grace Vaiśeṣika Prabhu. Since we became part of this global team dedicated to your mission, we have increased our book distribution capacity and capabilities. We therefore pray at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to empower us in our work together as one global team to spread the Sankirtan movement all over the world. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Vṛndāvana Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Vaiśeṣika Prabhu, we're done with the recorded offerings. If you would like to say something at this point.
I'm speechless. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhu.
Marjorie, can hear you.
Congratulations to all. Those offerings were just touching to the core. And the realization that we're sticking together and gaining strength by working together and following this process of depending on Lord Chaitanya, going back again and again to see what he'd like to do to empower us. And the results are the proof of how he's the doer and he's engaging all of us. The results were simply amazing. and the realizations that you all presented, New Zealand, Australia, Fiji, were a reminder to all of us that every single set that goes out has an eternal consequence. We think in terms of numbers and statistics, and we love it. But when it comes down to the interactions, and we trace it back to the devotees who plan these outings and who have sleepless nights and face the unknown that's always there. It's such a transcendental challenge. It gives us a little taste to be on the front lines of the Sankirtan movement. We know that we're following Prabhupada's footsteps. It's utterly satisfying. My deepest congratulations to all of you for your leadership in this. It really is the way advancement in Krishna consciousness. Today we are reading in the Srimad Bhagavatam 4th canto what Prabhupada was saying in a very definitive way, that it's by the order of the spiritual master that one makes advancement. He said, not by going into Vṛndāvana and looking at every bush to try to find Krishna, by going into the cities and distributing books and following the order of the spiritual master. He said, this is the way that we'll come to meet Krishna. So I couldn't be more pleased, and thank you very much, all of you. We have a few maps we can look at, and we can have discussion also. We can hear from the devotees. Let's take a look and see on the world. I blindly follow my Guru Maharaj. I do not know what is the result. Let me finish that. So I am stressing on this point of book distribution. He told me this personally. These quotes are so precious. Prabhupada passed them on to us, but please meditate on how Prabhupada wanted to know what his guru wanted him to do. And he told him personally to distribute books. We couldn't be more intimate as we carry on following this instruction that Prabhupada said, so kindly help me. It was his service to his spiritual master. Okay. And as a reminder, the Goloka ticket. If on the full moon day in the month of Bhadra, one places him at Bhagavatam on a golden throne and gives it as a gift, he will attain the supreme transcendental destination. We found this year that we had golden thrones, and when people come up to get the set, they just take it from the golden throne. That was a revelation. Everyone loved it. Okay, go ahead. So we're climbing a ladder, looking to come to a baseline of 100,000. And year upon year, we're looking to discover more and just develop more capacity. The numbers, the interim numbers are going down just a little bit, but in the process, we're finding where the gaps are. We're innovating, we're finding new ways to develop capacity, and we will reach that baseline. There's no question. Keep going. 2026, 100,008. You have to have a target, and it should be sufficiently challenging so that we don't become comfortable. We want to be disturbed and feel that Krishna, and ask Krishna, where is it going to come from? How are we going to do this? That's how we advance. We can do miracles. We just have to do it from where we are right now and keep climbing. Our goal for 2024 was 68,000 for Oceania. Score was 795. Or was that the pledge? Ranchor?
Mars, this is the score.
Okay, thank you. Well, how many did Australia do?
I believe it would have been, it was like around 700.
Well, go back to that 795. Okay, that makes sense then. Go ahead. Way to go. In the Far East, I can't see the small print, but that, oh, now I can. Madhya Pradesh, 1,186. And Thailand, 21. Malaysia, 30. Taipei, 1. We're missing Bangladesh for obvious reasons. They've done as many as 5,000 in previous years. Can never take for granted also what worked one year, or the way the geopolitical situation is. You don't know what it's going to be from year to year. We take advantage as much as we can. Okay, we have Africa, who celebrated quite hard because they they beat their goals. There's an updated map for Australia, I just heard. You can speak up too, if anybody wants to say anything, because it's harder for me on my phone to see exactly what everyone's saying on messages. So Africa, 485. India, 18,873. India as one unit has been much lower than we thought in the last 2 years. That's nothing to worry about, I think, because it's more organizational than it is not than it is thinking, oh, it's not possible, or they've expended all the ways they can do it. It's India's unlimitedly potential. Okay. Okay, we have Europe
Someone
at
got
1,484. They also have a lot more potential. South America, we had 99. Way to go, South America. North America, that 8,617. That's pretty good. Way to go, North America. 31,591 was our worldwide score. You can look at the map and see the many points of light on each continent. Thank goodness it's happening, right, everybody? Because nobody really has a clue without the Srimad Bhagavatam. The result of planting these seeds everywhere is something that I would definitely like to get news of from wherever I end up. Let's see the next. Final number, 31,591. 31,000. Bhadra campaign, Paschati Desh is on the rise. Next. That's everything outside of India. And here's the India trend line. And we're being treated to more photos. Oh, that's a nice point. Every set is a life changed. You think about the thousands and thousands that are going out. With a view toward achieving the aforementioned purposes, to publish and distribute periodicals, magazines, books, and other writings. Prabhupada penned that himself. And you think the way in which Prabhupada had planned the whole thing out. He made his purposes clear. And seventh, I always find to be unusual because it was obviously his way of achieving the aforementioned purposes. So they're not in conflict with one another. Book distribution is the engine that makes it possible. Tension sparks innovation. That's a good one. Ranchar, did you put that up?
No, Maharaj.
Shamahini, where's that from?
Anukul Seva Prabhu put that up, and it's just what you were saying, that we shouldn't be outside of our comfort zone, and that when we're outside the comfort zone, we don't want to get comfortable, and that's this place where we make advancement.
Is Anukul Seva on the call?
Yes, he is.
You have to give commentary now on Anukul Seva.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. No, I think it was just the point that we are tracking towards 100,000, and I think we need to think about how we're going to get there, and thinking outside the box, which is one of the next slides.
Let's see it. Go for it.
So with this sort of tension, I think it's more about the attitude that we bring to the table, and I think we are identifying gaps and ideas of how we can get there. So yeah, I just felt that it was a nice point to add today.
Yeah, and just carrying on with the spark, and the attitude. There's a way in which we talked earlier, all of us, I think, all in the same call and venue when we were all together, about how it's palpable when there's a sense of what we call a fire has started. It's kind of it's the metaphor for that feeling that this is urgent, we have to do it, and that the facility is there, and let's go for it. So Prabhupada told His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj that these books are sold by the enthusiasm of my devotees. That's what really makes it happen. Very nice. Let's see the next. Remind everyone of the mission regularly. That's a really important point, because we can't take for granted that everyone remembers. There's a biblical principle that you have to remind people at least every 30 days of what the mission is. So the building of the wall of Jericho, and having a drumbeat and keeping visibility is really important. Where attention goes, energy flows. We may not know how powerful we are, but wherever we point our attention, something will happen. We may not know what's going to happen or exactly how to do things, but if we start putting our attention to it, Krishna gives us the intelligence. It's a transcendental process. There's your meme, Uncle Seva, think outside the box. Oftentimes we get outside the box by coming to an impasse and then seeing what can we do differently. Oftentimes what we did before doesn't work the way we thought it would the next time, or somebody else is doing it a different way, and then we join them in their innovation. But it's also one of the ways that I've found teams are successful is they take time to brainstorm and don't take for granted that whatever we're doing now is the ultimate, or that there aren't other ways to do it. Be open. Okay. And really, ultimately, how we do is more important than what we do. Meaning, when we have this service attitude, we're joyful because we know we're doing it in service. There's no sense of material attachment. There's spiritual attachment, and that's joyful. And also cooperation. Okay. Do you all believe this? Our capacity is unlimited? Say yes. Next. Thanks, Rancho. The more we give, the more we grow. That's Lord Chaitanya's principle. Can you believe it? It says right there in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the more that the Panchatattva plundered the storehouse and distributed its contents, the more it increased. That's spiritual. Abundance mentality. Totally appropriate. Can lean into that with all your might. Next. Always better service. I heard Prabhupada speaking recently where he said, he was talking about deity worship. He said it should be first class. And then he doubled back and he said, no, better than first class. So we always have that mark that whatever we're doing now, we can increase it. And when we're increasing it for Krishna, it's so satisfying. to offer him something that's more and more refined. Okay, keep going. Work methodically. Find out what worked well, where there's room for improvement. Go. Now we're on to Live to Give 24. And our slogan, Make Earth Smart Again. Somehow people really got off track somewhere. So make Earth smart again. September 18th to January 7th. We're on to our next marathon. Fun, right? Gita is on the rise. We did 3.7 in 2023. Our goal is to get to 5 million Gitas by 2026. You can get a tattoo of that. So our goal this year is 4.2 million Gitas for the globe. Okay? Say yes.
Yes,
Okay. Thank you. Okay, go ahead. Hare Krishna, everyone. So now I think we have a few minutes. I believe if you do, I don't know how you're set for time over there, wherever you may be, time zones. I'm sitting in my car, I just got back, but could we hear from anyone who would like to talk, reflect, talk about how you're feeling? Oh, and let's share the updated map.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble
Hare
obeisances, all
Krishna.
glories to Śrīla Prabhupada.
Jai.
Yeah, so inspiring. It was a very enlivening mission. And I know it's not just about the numbers, but I was wondering if there's anybody that could share any best practices from Melbourne, because the numbers were really huge this time. So Melbourne, Australia, they did about 50% of the numbers for the whole of Oceania. So I was just wondering if there's anything that anybody from Australia could share with us about their success.
Hare Krishna,
Sharon
everybody.
means Karen. Hare Krishna, go ahead.
Please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Śrīla Prabhupada. I can share what was shared with me by Vilas Manjari Devi Dasi. I believe that in Melbourne there's a very well organized program for studying and reading Śrīla Prabhupada's books, that starting right from the temple president down to the congregation, everybody's engaged in some way in regularly studying and reading Śrīla Prabhupada's books. And this seems to have evidenced the result being that so many participated in distributing Srimad Bhagavatam and sharing what they had studied and learnt. This is, even though I haven't experienced that myself personally, this is what I believe, having heard from Vilas Manjari here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just add to that. Just have video on mute, but can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, so that's absolutely correct what Dhruva Prabhu just said. And I'll just add, they had 75 devotees actively distributing Srimad Bhagavatam sets. And I asked exactly the same question, how did that happen? And it really was, they've had a long-standing college program that every devotee is involved in. The temple president teaches part of the courses. Everyone in the temple, the whole community is involved in reading and studying Śrīla Prabhupada's books. And they really put it down to that as their secret for success, that they all have a taste for reading Srila Prabhupada's books. So when the call comes to distribute Srila Prabhupada's books, many devotees come forward and participate. That seems to be their secret. I'll just make a few comments while the map is up. So this is the updated map. So the actual score for Oceania is 795 sets of Srimad Bhagavatam distributed, which is a fantastic achievement. And as Babasandi Mataji just said, Melbourne distributed 436 of those sets. So that's a wonderful effort there from Melbourne. I want to add also, as I look at the scores around the country, I see that those centres that have continued to participate for the last 4 years, it's very inspiring to see many more coming on board now. But I also see the ones that started 4 or 5 years ago and stuck to it, how they're actually growing. So I look at Adelaide, which is a very small, very, very small community. That's it. Thank you very much for zooming in on little Adelaide there. They actually were stunned 4 years ago when they participated and they were able to distribute 3 sets. I remember their surprise, and I remember the leaders saying, well, that's 3 more Bhagavatam sets than we've distributed it in the last 10 years. So they're really happy, and each year they've been increasing. They went to 6 sets, they went to 8 sets, they went to 10, and then this year 34 sets. And when I asked them how did they do it, he said, I don't know how it happened, but the youth got involved this year. They've caught on, a group of the youth from the temple. They got into it and they got 34 sets distributed. So just wonderful to hear these stories. Perth, right over all by itself on the other side of Australia, Western Australia. Perth is actually the second most isolated city in the world, the second most isolated city on the planet after Vladivostok. So Vladivostok in Russia is the first and Perth is the second. And they have a really good strong congregational program there. And it's mostly the congregation devotees who come forward and distribute these. And often this is an indication of their preaching growing. So as they start new Bhakti Vriksha groups, the new members take a Bhagavatam set. And the devotee there in Perth told me they also took advantage of a traveling preacher who spoke on Srimad Bhagavatam for 7 days. And they distributed, I think it was 21 sets at that one program. So they are also growing year by year. And if you zoom back out to Australia, you'll notice lots of activity on the East Coast, a bit on the West. But this year we're very happy. We had right up in the Northern Territory, up in the top centre there of Australia. We don't have any centres. We don't have any preaching centres or anyone there. But because of the online preaching groups that are being run, I know this one was from Sydney, they're sending Srimad Bhagavatam sets to the members of the online centres up in the Northern Territory of Australia. So that was great. And also all the way out, Norfolk Island, I think, is 1,500 kilometres from Australia. And today we had Dhruva Prabhu presenting our offering to Srila Prabhupada. He's from Norfolk Island. And he sent me a wonderful photo of the first set of Srimad Bhagavatam arriving on Norfolk Island on the ship, being lifted by the freight carriers. They're a population of 1,500 residents, permanent residents. So one set distributed amongst a population of 1,500 is pretty amazing, I think, and really inspiring news. So, very similar stories all around Australia with devotees. I think just about everybody has increased from last year, and an overall increase of 47% increase? I'm trying to remember. it was something like 46 or 47%. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Shamahini. 46% increase from last year. And of course, our goal in order to participate and reach, and I believe personally, Vaiśeṣika Prabhu, you're going to reach this goal of 100,008 Śrīmad Bhagavatam sets around the world, because I'm watching how you're empowering all of us who couldn't believe that we could do what we've done, and we're watching the magic happen by Lord Chaitanya's mercy, by Srila Prabhupada's mercy. So thank you so much. Our goal is 1,000 sets in 2026, and we're on track. We're increasing our capacity year by year, and we're on track, and we're going to make it to 1,000 sets or more in 2026. Thank you so much for engaging us all like this. Hare Krishna.
It's one of the best reports I ever heard. I don't know if I can sleep tonight. There's a story behind everything, and it's Lord Chaitanya's story, and it's so nice to be in the middle of it. Thank you, Vilas Manjari. The fire principle, one of the points my ear picked up was that the centers that have kept going. And you never know, if you just try to stay in the game, you something can catch. That it's the fire principle. It's keep stoking the fire, keep tapping it, blowing on it, whatever you have to do, and next thing you know, it's going to conflagration. Rancherji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, everybody. So from a data team perspective, we're kind of looking into different ways we can analyze the data. Over the last year, we've developed some more manpower that we previously didn't have. So now we'll be doing a lot of different analyses just to see where sets can go up, what avenues to putting it, where's the publicity, etc. So we may come back with some questions to the Yatra leaders and the coordinator leaders. So just stay tuned for that. And then also for the upcoming Live to Give campaign, we'll be providing reports, PDF reports for the Yatra leaders for Australia, New Zealand, and Fiji shortly. So you can see center by center what each center's expected goal will be, so we can get to 5 million by 2026, and just past data as well. So stay tuned for that.
Definitely worth staying tuned in for. The statistic analysis gives us the eyes to see where we're succeeding and where we can fill in gaps. It's so important. It's a target we can look at. Thank you. Who else would like to make a comment or ask a question so we can share best practices?
Hare Krishna, Vaiśeṣika Prabhu.
Yes, please. Hey, Rukmini Mohan. You're killing it over there.
Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I was just listening to all the updates, beautiful updates that has been given, and I'm sitting actually right in front of Srila Prabhupada, and he's listening to the offerings being made. So I'm just
how beautiful of the Vyasasana. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
And Vaiśeṣika Prabhu actually, because this year was the 20th anniversary of Shri Radha Golok Bihari Temple. It opened in 2004, so it's 2024 now. So we celebrated the 20th anniversary of Shri Radha Golok Bihari Temple, and we had installed the new Murti of Srila Prabhupada. So, and we took the opportunity to basically promote Śrīmad Bhagavatam during these celebrations. The celebration that was here for the 20th anniversary and also the 50th anniversary of Srila Prabhupada's arrival in Fiji. So this year we did well, and I'm just trying to reflect on and contemplate on how Melbourne did, such wonderfully. So maybe we'll be also trying to get, our congregation to start reading Śrīmad Bhagavatam, and that is going to inspire more potential distributors. So that's something that I'm taking from this session as well. And of course, here people, the devotees rather, they're not so comfortable in distributing Śrīmad Bhagavatam at this stage. We are still trying to develop our capacity even further. But Bhagavad-gītā, everyone is really ready to participate in the Live to Give campaign, because Bhagavad-gītā is a small book, relatively small book compared to Śrīmad Bhagavatam, 18 volumes. So whilst we were in this campaign, we had some devotees inquiring when the Live to Give campaign is going to start. So we have enthusiasm around that. So I think we'll be doing well in the Live to Give campaign. So we're looking forward to participating in the Live to Give campaign. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for sharing the beautiful vision of the Vyasasana you have there and the amazing deity of Śrīla Prabhupada. I think the point you picked up about increasing time when devotees have the opportunity to hear the Śrīmad Bhagavatam is absolutely the secret. And when we read the purports and the verses, it's as if they're speaking directly to us in a voice that is so perfectly matched that it is something that inspires us to go out to give it to other people, because we're so inspired by it ourselves. Okay, so Aksharanita Prabhu from ISV is going to present an updated pledge calculator for the Live to Give campaign. And yes, you can do it now.
Hare Krishna, could I get screen share permission?
Yes, just 1 second.
So, some devotees remember there was a similar tool built for the Bhadra campaign. And so we've updated that for the Live to Give campaign. And we can just go ahead and just select our region and our country and isolate our community to get stats or statistics for our previous scores and what our expected scores are. So you can look at discount birth and then see where we're expected to be. And very quickly we can glance at what our ideal pledge is so that we can stay on target to hit our global target for 4.2 in 2024, and obviously our world goal of 5 million in 2026. So this is the tool, and we'll be sending the link so that everybody can go and check this out and confirm their goals for this year and for following years.
Aksharanita, can you tell a little bit how you got involved in this, please?
So Ranshore Prabhu, he called me sometime around the end of the Bhadra campaign, and he was asking for just some assistance. There's a lot of seva he said there's a space for seva to be done in terms of tech and building up the website and any other IT stuff. And so I was very happy to join, and just been working with him over the last week and trying to see what I can do to help any of the campaigns that are happening.
Fantastic, Aksharanita. We're so happy to have you there. And way to go, Ranchor. Well done. Well played, sir. Excellent. I love that. It's very helpful to have that tool. And I'd like to acknowledge our dear devotees from Japan. I see Ananta Gauranga, Jaya Shri. Would you like to say anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Ananta. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sashiburi.
Ashiburi desu. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Yoroshiku onegai shimasu.
So yeah, thank you everyone for giving us opportunity. And I'm joining after some gap, but just listening to all the offerings and all the experiences, we feel very enlivened, and I hope we will be doing more this year. We have been doing Srimad Bhagavatam sets here, mostly in English and other languages. So this year also we have committed a certain number of Bhagavatam sets to be done. So we need everybody's blessings and guidance also for that. And also, of course, about the Bhagavad-gītā, yeah, we have Bhagavad-gītā in Japanese language, so it will be more wider distribution that is possible in Japan with the Japanese Bhagavad-gītā available. So we hope that in Live to Give campaign, we will participate more and we will be able to distribute and also update the scores more and more. And we hope with Vaiśeṣika Prabhu's blessings and everybody's blessings that we can do more than what we have done last year. So we are looking forward to it, and with the new energy and inspiration from all of you, please help us and guide us, and we'll try to do best whatever possible in Japan this year in Live to Give campaign. Thank you very much, Vaiśeṣika Prabhu. Thank you for
I'm
everything.
so happy you joined the call. Thank you very much. And glad to see Jayashree there. Jayashree, would you like to say a few words? She's one of the top book distributors in Japan. Say a few words about book distribution.
Hare Krishna, Vaiśeṣika Prabhu. Please accept my Dandavat Pranams. I'm very grateful to you, and it's like because of your blessings and because of your association and all these devotees' inspiration. All these devotees are very inspiration to me, and they are like doing best. So please accept my Dandavat Pranam, all Vaishnavas, and please bless us so that we can serve Śrīla Prabhupada under the shelter of Vaiśeṣika Prabhu and continue this service as much as we can. So yes, thank you so much, everyone. Dear Vaiśeṣika Prabhu, please accept my lots of gratitude. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Gratitude back to you too. Kochira koso. And
yes.
yeah, we want to hear more and more from Japan. Japan
Yes.
has in previous years been way up on the top of the charts. So let's look for a really healthy Live to Give. I also want to mention Siddharth Prabhu, who's been doing a lot of branding stuff. Super excellent. And it's one of the most enlivening parts of the campaigns. And he stepped in and just really doing some great stuff. Nice work, Siddharth. Thank you so much. Okay, so Shamahini, we're coming towards the top of the hour.
Yes, Prabhu.
Does everyone feel satisfied? Does anybody else want to make a comment quickly and check in? Tomorrow morning we have another offering too. We'll have some of our star players like Nandini Kishori, who you see on here, and others from the other side of the world. If you're up and moving around, tomorrow morning it's at 7, if I'm not incorrect, 7 a.m. Pacific time. I don't know what that means for all of you, but anyway, it's going to be nice getting everyone together from that side. This was, as I said earlier, one of the best offerings we've heard, and huge progress. And definitely the spirit, the devotion of the offerings was stirring, and is indicative of how this process of book distribution is transcendental. It is high sadhana, and we make advancement by that process. So while we have the opportunity, we're just flying through this life. It's a blink of an eye, really, is what it is. But we have the greatest opportunity, labvam sadurlabhamidam bahusambhavante, that it's so rare and it's so temporary, but you can really do something that is fortunate, which means you can turn something temporary into something eternal. and not just for ourselves, but for millions and millions of other people. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Shri Panchachattva, Shri Shri Gaurnitai, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Radha Govinda, Shri Shri Radha Gopinath, Shri Shri Lakshmi Nrsingadev, please empower our team more and more so we can plunder the storehouse of love of God and distribute the content, not considering who's a fit or unfit candidate. And please give us unlimited resources. We promise to use them in your service to expand Srila Prabhupada's glories all over the world through his amazing divine purports. Thank you for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. I'm so grateful. Thank you, everyone, for all you're doing. Let's keep doing it, okay? Say yes.
Yes.
Vanchakalparusha, Kripasinabheva, Patitanam Pavanibhyo, Vaishabhya. Everyone agrees with the prayers in whole or in part. Please unmute and say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Premanande Haribo. Hare
Hare
Krishna. Knock them
Krishna.
alive out there, everybody. Go Fiji, go New Zealand, go Japan, go Australia. Hare Krishna. Take it to the moon.
Yes.